This video is brought to you by Kingston. What's going on, guys? This is Sam. I hope all of you are doing super great today. I want to talk about the iPad mini 5 and the iPad 7, both of those coming in 2019, and I thought the iPad mini was dead. Apparently it's not, so if you're excited for that news, drop a like down below, and of course, subscribe for more info on the 2019 iPads. But let's go ahead and jump into this info. Alright, so first up we have this article from China Times. As you can tell, this is all in Chinese, so I can't exactly read it. I turned to Mac Rumors for the translation. And in this article, there is some really exciting stuff regarding the future of the iPad in 2019. First off, I gotta start with the iPad mini 5. It's a product that I thought was dead. It's a product that a lot of people thought would never see the light of day again. But apparently in 2019, this is the second source to say that the iPad mini will be making a relatively large splash. I wouldn't call it a comeback because it's not going to be completely redesigned, and it's certainly not getting an edge-to-edge display. But according to China Times, it is getting a new display inside the unit. It's going to be apparently cheaper for Apple to manufacture. I hope that means that the same quality stays, if not gets a little bit better. We don't have a ton of info on that. What we do have info on is the fact that the iPad mini 5 is said to be getting a processor upgrade. This is what it needs more than anything else, because Apple right now is selling the iPad mini 4 for more than the iPad 6, even though every spec inside the iPad mini 4 is worse than the iPad 6. That was the one that came out in March of 2018. So the current iPad mini 4 does not make sense. Please do not buy this product even if you are desperate for a small iPad. There is a new one coming in 2019. So what kind of specs are we expecting here? According to some component leaks, it's going to get the A9 processor, and I believe it launched on the iPhone 6s, which makes me really skeptical because so many iPad mini customers are just waiting for that much needed processor upgrade. And while the A9 is one generation better than the A8 currently inside the iPad mini, it's still a pretty old processor, and I really hope that Apple puts at the very least, an A10 Fusion chip in here, if not an A10X or an A11, if they really wanted to make it a viable option that would make a ton of people interested in the iPad mini happy. So it could go either way. I don't really know how to feel about this. I think Apple putting the A9 in here would be a mistake, but then again, Apple also says that bent iPads are now normal, so I don't exactly know which direction they're going to go in. But that is not the information that has got me super excited. The article goes on to talk about what we can expect to see for the future of the iPad. That's the $329 lowest price iPad that Apple sells. I think a lot of people discredit this tablet because it is so cheap, but I used it earlier this year. I loved it. It's a really good tablet and definitely an incredible value out there. Apple is working to improve it even more in 2019, and I'm so excited that this is going to be happening. So just like Apple did with the iPad Pro line and slimmed down the bezels, it's not going to be as extreme as the newest iPad Pros in 2019, but according to this report, the screen size is going to increase to 10 inches, so going from 9.7 to 10 inches, and the bezels, this is so exciting, on this lower price iPad are going to shrink. Pretty much my number one issue with the current iPad is that the bezels are super thick, and it looks like a very traditional sort of old school designed iPad. But in 2019, as you can see in this mock-up that I made here, you get those slimmer bezels, but you also get a slightly bigger screen, and it's going to result in a design very, very similar to the 10.5-inch iPad Pro. So no Face ID, we're not hearing that. It's not going to be edge to edge or that beautiful all-screen design that we get on the newest iPad Pros, just because those are premium and Apple is reserving that as a premium feature. I think this new iPad would look so incredible and could make the body, the physical size of the iPad, a little bit smaller if Apple does opt for this limited bezel option. So I want to hear your thoughts on this down below. Would you be buying one of these iPads if it did look just like this? Maybe a slightly smaller body with a larger screen and slimmer bezels. I think this design is incredible. Again, not as good to me as the all-screen design on the iPad Pro line, but imagine getting this tablet right here with a 10-inch screen for $329. That is a deal, and that is something that the market I don't think could ignore for long. Now, unfortunately, we don't know much else about this iPad. We don't have any details yet about the camera, what kind of video it could shoot, just because that's never really been the focus of any iPad. But if the screen alone is one of the only changes and it gets a processor bump as well, I think that will still make this a killer tablet, and I'm legitimately excited to see something like this come from Apple in 2019. If there is one change though that I really hope we see for all the iPad models in 2019, we already saw it with the Pro line in 2018, that is the addition of a USB-C port. Lightning is cool, Lightning is great, but USB-C is reversible, similar to Lightning. It's also a universal port, so it's going to work with all the accessories that you already have. I really hope that Apple makes that change, and this actually makes a perfect transition into today's sponsor, Kingston Technology. I want to tell you about the Nucleum USB-C hub because it's incredible. I've been using it on my MacBook Pro, but this also works with your iPad Pro. I have to show you all these ports. Kingston sent this for me to take a look at, and you've got pretty much every port you need on here. SD card reader, USB 3, USB-C. My favorite though, HDMI. It was so easy now to connect my iPad or computer to a TV using HDMI. A second USB-C and a second USB 3 here. If you're looking for a really great last minute holiday gift, or you just want a really good USB-C hub, go ahead and check the Nucleum out. I will leave a link down below. That is all I've got for you in this video. New iPads coming in 2019 are going to be pretty dope, especially the new iPad 7 with slimmer bezels and a slightly bigger 10-inch screen, but the iPad mini 5 is coming as well, so get super hyped for that. Again, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below, hit subscribe for more, and again, thank you to Kingston for sponsoring the video. I've been Sam, happy holidays, and I'll see you all in my next video.